Hello. Now, I have just had a message from Claire over at the Farmyard Garden to say that she can't find the link to the live. Now, I am double checking here that I have sent it to my posts on YouTube. And if I haven't sent it, I will send it again now. But also, it should be in Facebook. And it should have just given you a notification now. So it might just be it's me. It might just be me here tonight, which is fine. I said to Claire, I'm used to talking to myself. This is so typical, isn't it? You put in all the effort of getting everything ready, even brushing your hair, and then all of a sudden you realise that, yeah, you haven't actually said anything to anybody. So, right, I'm just going to witter on. I have put little notice on. If you can see me at all, put me on now. I think there might be one person watching. I'm not sure who you are, but thank you so much for coming along. Could you please put in the chat? I don't even know if you can hear me yet. I think you can see me. Can you put in the chat whether you can hear me? This is what these things are all about. They are all about. This is my daughter knocking on the door.
Your video's private.
My video's private. Okay. So, okay. So, right. Okay. Let me just do this. Ay, 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 ay. Thank you, Anna. Let me just get myself logged in. Video is in. View your channel. View your channel. Yeah, video is private. Okay. Manage videos. Are we there? Are we there now? Is this right? Oh, this should be okay now. You know what? On the actual screen that I'm looking at now, it doesn't tell me that it's private. Yes! Anna, well, can you hear me, Anna? Can you actually hear me now? I'm a little bit concerned you can't hear me. So if you could just say, oh, that's good. So you can hear me and you can see me. You'll regret that, but you found me, Claire. Oh, Claire, thank you. I had you and Anna, my daughter, knocking at the door at the same time. You saying you can't find me, and Anna knocking on the door and saying it's private. I would have thought it would automatically go from private to public once you pressed go live, but apparently not. So anyway, yes, thank you. Thank you for coming along. I'm not sure how long I'll be able to talk for tonight. Anna's calling me a silly goose. I am a silly goose. And then in which case she's a silly gosling. Okay, so Claire, the link that you looked at then, was that on the YouTube posts? Was it in Facebook? Because I'm wondering if I should share it again now. Oh, Debs, you're here as well. And Danny. Okay. So it's on Facebook. Right. Okay. So does that mean that the link is now public? So if you press that, so Debs, if you press the link on Facebook, that brought you straight here and I was live. Same with you, Claire. Is that okay? Oh, Adi. Hello, Adi. Adi, we're having technical problems. It's always the same, isn't it? Hello, Siggy. Oh, that is so nice. That is so nice. Honestly, for a few minutes there, I thought I just said to Claire, I'm used to just sitting here chatting to myself anyway. So it was right. So it was private initially, Claire. So it's okay now, is it? I don't have to change anything. Okay, it's all working. Hi, Mel. Hello. Hello. Now, Danny, you're at work. Danny's just told me he's at work. So that's obviously not got much on. So thank you very much for taking some time out, Danny. That's really good. Oh, I'm really glad to see you because I have been. Will, how lovely to see you. Thank you so much for coming along. I was actually talking about you the other day because Mike mentioned, I don't want to miss anyone here. Mike mentioned the 10 question series that I did I can't believe it's 2 years ago now. And Mike was saying, isn't it about time we did another one? I was like, I don't know. And we were going through the people we asked. And I said, you will. And I thought, I wonder how he's getting on. I wonder if you've still got your allotment and everything. So really lovely for you to turn up. Let me know in the comments. Are you still growing? Are you just doing flowers? Are you just doing your beautiful garden? I just remember. If those of you on here never saw the Flying Gardener channel, go and have a look. It was beautiful. It was really beautifully done. But okay, right. Yeah, it's 2 years, Claire. I know. I'm thinking of doing another one, but I don't know if I can ask anyone. I think part of the problem for me, I'm not sticking to my list here at all. Part of the problem for me was when I look back at the 10 years thing now, I look at all the technical bits and I look at the lighting and I listen to the audio. I think, oh, Jane, that was shocking. What were you thinking of? At the time, that was it. You just went out, you just went and did it. Whereas now it's, today I've been trying to get this ready up here and I'll talk about it in a minute. And yeah, you want to get your sound just right. Of course, I should have done that then, but yeah, it's a little bit scary. You're still allotmenting, Will. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I just remember everything on your allotment just looked perfect, gorgeous shed and everything. Yeah, it is, Debs, isn't it? It is. Oh yes. Yeah, that's true, AD. But the reason, yeah, there is a little bit of a change of scenery. Because last time I did a live, well, every time I've done a live, let me just put context in here. I have had the most rotten, I've tested for COVID. It hasn't been COVID, but this week I have been absolutely, I'm coming out the other side now. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to do it tonight, but my voice is suffering a bit. But if I'm suffering, you should suffer as well. So you can listen to me. Every time I've done a live, I've been in my office, if you like, which is downstairs, which is actually on the first floor. I'm currently in the attic, so try and work that out. Okay, so and it's really small. And my computer, I have about 4 foot behind me to reach the wall. And Mike, rather than me, it didn't bother me at all. But Mike has got an autistic eye, and he's always been bothered about the radiator that was just behind me, which was usually covered in a curtain. And I used to say to him, don't worry, it's fine. No one's looking at the radiator. No one's, it's fine. And then I started noticing it. So, when someone ignorance is bliss. If you don't think about it, it's fine. I started noticing it. So now what's happening is for my lives, I am up in the attic, which is a grand name, really. It's an extension on the top of the house. Well, it's an attic. And this is Mike's studio and our guest room. So I've taken over my studio with fairy lights and painting. You see Rocky. Where is he? Beautiful drawing of Rocky there behind me. I love that one. And that's the guest bed behind me. I've brought this plant that follows me through all my lives. I haven't got loads of lovely house plants, but I do like this one. But sadly, you can also see, hold on, I'm mirrored. You can also see the door into the loft. Can't do it. Can I do it? There we are. The door into the loft and the light. And you can also see a few wires. It's really weird when you're mirrored. You can't do it properly. But yeah, it's so I'm up here now. But this isn't my computer. That's what's really weird. I am on. Thanks, Will. Thanks, Claire. It's honestly, I'm really pleased with it. But I'm on Mike's computer and he has a PC, and not only a PC, but it's a PC that he's built himself. So it's got everything in our house. It's got a knack because it's an old Victorian house. You have to open a door a certain way. You have to flush the toilet a certain way. It's like Casey Jones. It's an overhead flush thing. And so, yeah. So he said to me, just make sure that you don't touch the casing of the PC, which is under the desk. So under the desk here, I've got one of his paintings blocking off the PC casing, so I can't get to it. My computer is a Mac. So I've got a wireless mouse. I click left and well, I don't have to click anything. And I'm just not used to this computer. So getting the camera and the microphone set up was a bit of a chore. I'm here. It's done. I might have no voice, but thank you. I like it. How long it'll stay like this? Because as soon as the gardening season's over, Mike's going to be up here again doing his paintings and whatnot. So I just have it live in the background, a little bit of a portrait artist of the year situation going on in the background. Hey, Pammy, lovely to see you. Oh, Will, you see, you've been missed. You've been missed. That's really nice. So how are all of you? We are having today, I think it's been named a storm, but I don't know if that's just in Scotland, but it's certainly has been lashing it down all day. Claire, you will have had it as well. Claire is only a few miles away from me, so I'm sure you'll have had it as well. But not just the rain, but the wind, and it's just not been gardening at all. Yeah, rain and wind. Yeah, I think it's your iMac when I record. Oh, Claire, that's exactly what I'm like here. That is exactly what I'm like. I don't know how a PC works. And you can close down and minimize on all different sides of the screen. So everything's crossed at the moment. Yes. So today it's just been a case of I had to pop out and see my parents. That's another story. But yeah, there's something also quite nice about this time of year, just hunkering down when you get a day that you don't have to go out. And I'm very lucky I don't have to go out to work at a certain time or anything like that. In fact, I work from home. And so I can put the fire on, snuggle down, and just get indoor jobs that otherwise you'd feel really guilty because you feel like you should be in the garden, you should be doing. I've got so many things to do at the allotment, let alone our garden at home. So yeah, you are in the Wirral, Mel. How is it there? Because sometimes it can be a bit calmer there. Well, you've got rain and wind now. Yeah, yeah. Oh, you're in the polytunnel. But you see, Claire, you haven't got far to go to your polytunnel. You can make a quick dash, can't you, from the house? So yeah, I think our lane going up to the allotment, it's usually open on Saturdays and Sundays only, so you can get your car up and down. But when the rain's been as bad as it is today, I don't think they'll be opening it tomorrow because it'll just be an absolute mud bath. Pammy, where are you? You're saying it's whipping up a hoolie. I love that sound. I love that word term. Yeah, really whipping up a hoolie. And tonight, I love October. I love autumn. I love lighting the candles and lighting the fire. And I love a spooky story. And so a few nights ago, I've started watching some daft review things on YouTube, of all places, of the best spooky books. Not horror, spooky. And so I've ordered myself a great spooky book from Amazon. And I was snuggling down at night in bed. To be honest, I usually need my the torch off my phone as well. So I'm usually asleep. I'm reading like this. It's really atmospheric. It reminds me of when I was little and I used to read under the bed covers, But anyway, I'm reading a spooky story and I am absolutely gripped. I am loving it. But Mike is going away next week for a few nights. And I know not only not going to be able to read it, I'm not going to be able to look at the cover. I'm going to have to put the book somewhere out of reach because there's no way I'm reading that in bed without Mike being there. There's no way, because I would not be able to get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night or anything like that. It would just be. So the night before he goes, I might have to read something like, I don't know, A Diary of an Edwardian Lady or something, or some Beatrix Potter to put my mind at rest. Yeah, you're in Northants. All right, okay, so very similar, Pammy. Anyway. Yeah. When I get there, Claire, I've got to come. I mean, we keep saying, come when this season, we keep putting it off, don't we? We should come. Oh, and you're right next to the river. They're right next to the river. Which river is that, Mel? That'd be interesting. Yeah. So anyway, 5:45. Oh my goodness. So it'll be dark then, or it'll just be getting light, won't it? It's yeah, the mirrors. I was gonna say that and I thought, surely not. Excuse me. So yes, change of scene, terrible weather. Looking at my list. So it has been time. It's also that time of year. So let me just ask, anyone else love this time of year? I mean, you talk about spring, summer, autumn, winter. I've mentioned this before. I'm very much a spring and autumn person. Summer, I suppose I love the summer. I love summer evenings, but this year it was too hot. Winter, no, it's okay. You've got Christmas, which is okay, but it can be a bit of a bang because you want to get out there and do things. But yeah, yeah, I remember that, Claire. Um, you do and don't love this time of year, Debs. Thank you. That's really that's really constructive. I suppose it depends on the weather. I love the changes. It's the same in the spring. I love the excitement of seeing things change and things growing. Whereas in the autumn, everything that I mentioned before, even just putting a cardigan on, putting a scarf and wrapping up, trudging through leaves, just it's magical to me. And again, I love the spooky side. I'm all into the spooky side. Um, so yeah. Okay. Time to look back a little bit as well on this year in the garden. It is that time that we're starting to reflect. Um, hey Tony, hello. How is it in South Wales? Probably very wet and rainy down there. Yeah, it's this time of year I'm starting to think about what has gone right and what has gone wrong. Not necessarily wrong, but what I do different again next year in the garden. And for me, yes, we were saying, Tony, I think it's been everywhere. Um, but I have been ruminating. I'm going to use that word because that's a good word for this time of year as well, isn't it? Ruminating over this last year. I'm wondering why it's been different for me. And for me, the main thing is down to Mike having his own plot. And much as Mike's probably watching this, and much as it's been great to have ownership of the whole plot myself and know exactly where I want to do things. I've gone over this before, because Mike's got a very different way of growing things, and he grows things absolutely. His plot this year, I've hardly filmed on it at all. The amount of stuff he is bringing home. I wish I had a picture actually to show you of the kitchen table at the moment. It's full of Roma tomatoes and huge padron peppers. I mean, he's got hundreds of these. They're fantastic. But I think as much as it's been fantastic to have the place to myself, I've missed him. I mean, he's only just across the lane and I call him and he come, bless him. He does the hedges and he does the trimming for me. So what's for me to do? It's really nice. But where I've struggled this year, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this, is the watering. And that partly because Mike, if we were both there, we'd both be taking care of it. But when we've been going out, Mike has been doing some of my watering when I'm not there as well. But clearly he's been watering his plot as well. And that's taken priority. And I've been quite lazy with that. I'm not used to disciplining myself to doing it because there's been someone else who might or might not do it. I haven't got into that routine, and it's taken me all summer to think, to actually realize at the end of it, maybe the reason I haven't got as many tomatoes this year is because I didn't keep up the watering. It's just one of those things that I've taken for granted over the years. And yeah, the reason Mike's doing so well is just, well, he's had fresh compost for a start and manure. He's put loads of brilliant stuff in, but our beds are all topped. We've had manure and everything. But I've missed that. So, but as with all things in gardening, flip that round. So next year, that is something I really, really need to work on. I really need to make sure that I've either got irrigation systems in place or just a watering plan. I think it is agricultural, Claire. I think, yeah, that's where I need to step up. As a teacher, you're always looking at next steps. That was very good. Well done. But, so yeah, this is what I could do better. So yeah, that's it, Tony. It's been so dry. Of course, you've had the wildfires to deal with. Not many people can say that, Tony, but of course that will be affected by the weather at all. Pammy, you're sat with your window open. Should I ask why? I don't know. Blanket round your legs. You know what, though? Even in the summer, I've got to say, not during the hottest days, but of an evening, I'm a right one for having a little blankie on the sofa. I do. Just a nice little orange blankie. Just pulls up every now and then. Big one in the winter. But hey, Ali, hello. Yeah, sofa blanket. But it is that sort of day, Ali, isn't it? It's just that sort of day. Let's have a look. Oh, you're not well as well, Ali. I'm sorry to hear that. I've been through it and hopefully coming out of it. Oh, you've got Bonnie sitting next to you. Oh, Dexter's upside down. The sad thing about it's not sad. If Rocky follows us up now, says if you weren't tuned in earlier, I'm now on the top floor, which is like the attic. So as well, ground floor, first floor. That's me. So you might call it the second floor. It's only this room. But it means a lot of steps for Rocky to get up, and his hips aren't great now. So he tends to go like that. He does a Bambi halfway up. So the amount of times he's followed me up and I've just been coming to collect a pen or a notebook or something, and he just gets here. He's looking at you and says, thank goodness we're here. We've climbed Everest. We're at the top. I turn around. I feel so guilty. I turn around and go down again. And so I might have to sit on the top step with him for a few minutes just for him to, make out like it's okay. But Mike's downstairs at the moment, so he'll be with him. So yeah, I know, Pammy. He's but we recently found out about Rocky. He's been a bit of a fraud. He's been a bit of when we collected him for the dog's home, they told us an age. I think they said he was 6 or 7. We later found out he was about 8 or 9. And we've had our suspicions about how old he is for quite some time. And we just seem to think that he was 15 a couple of years ago. So this year we've been saying, yeah, he's 16. And people say he's doing very well, isn't he, for an old dog? Well, I've had to get some medication from him lately. And of course you get the prescription, and the prescription, they said, he's tagged. We can find out his date of birth on his tag. And he's going to be 15. I think it's the 25th of October. So it's coming up to 15. So we've been adding years on, bless him, all this time. But for a dog such as he's doing very well. Whether he'll make it to 15 or not, I don't know. But he's a sweetheart. He is a sweetheart. But yeah. Oh, I've got Dira. Anna's just saying I've got Dira outside the door. My daughter's dog. Hold on. She'll be waiting for me. We're looking after Dira because my daughter's gone to Romania. Hold on a second. Yeah, she's here. You coming in? Come on then. Come on. You coming in? Right, you're going to sit down over there. This is Dira. Come on. There we go. There we are. Now, for such a small dog, she is absolutely a very noisy dog as well. She guards everyone. And while Charlotte's away, she's taken to guarding me. So if Mike comes in the room, she'll have a right old bark at him. But fair enough. I think Mike needs barking at now and then. Put him in his place. Oh, no, I need to angle my chair so she's not looking over my shoulder now. She's a sweetheart. She is. Yes, there she is. She is a background. She is. There we go. There we go. We've got Dira on that side. And we've got Rocky again, mirrored over there. Okay. Golden Romanian croissant. She's on a bit of a diet at the moment, but her head has always been a little bit smaller than her body. I always say it's one of those, do you remember those flip books in 3 parts? So you've had the body, the head, and the legs, and you could cross the pictures to make your own person up. She's a bit like that in dog terms, but she's lovely. She is lovely. Hello, Mike. You're there as well. Oh, no. Mike and Anna are watching me. And you know what that means? That means when I go downstairs, they're going to be, da-di-da-di-da. Right. Okay. What have I talked about? We've talked about the seasons. We've talked about the weather. We've talked about the change of season. Do you like it? Do you like it up here? I think, do me a favor. If you like it, put your thumbs up, because then I can see it, that I know who's saying something. It's difficult again. And you'll know if you've done a live, looking at the camera. There's got to be a way. There is a way. There's the whole thing now. I've got my camera above the computer. It's not integrated into the computer. It's separate. It's above. And when I'm looking at the chat, you can see that's why I keep looking down there. Okay. But there is a thing now. Someone talked me through it the other day, but I'm a bit too scared to use it. And I think it would be really, really weird, where the computer will, you might know this, Tony, the computer recognizes your eyes and you can press a button so your eyes stay looking at the screen, even though you're looking down. So is it AI eyes? It's some sort of weird thing. I mean, talk about spooky. How weird is that? So I could be looking down there for all you know at the moment, but according to you, I'm looking at the screen, but it's just so bizarre. It's hello, Caroline. Hello, lovely to see you. Oh, have you got it? Oh, Claire, have you used it then? I'm terrified of using it. I'm a bit scared. So yeah, I've seen the prompters, Tony. I can get one for this, but I don't use it. I'm a bit of an ad libber, I should probably guess. I probably could do with one. But again, it's one of those things. I could get all sort of effects which work on my Mac. But I was saying to him, I'm on Mike's computer here, which is PC, and it's alien to me. This whole thing is alien to me. So if I want to use any effects, I have to get a new GPU card, and it's, is it worth it? I don't know. But yes, so what have you been doing? You will all have been harvesting at this time of year. Tell me what you've been harvesting. Let me know. And I'll show you. First person. Oh, well, this is an Elgato. Yeah, it's this is part of the Elgato. I've got the Elgato 4K camera, Tony. And as part of it, you've got the effects, and you've also got a prompter. But again, you need the card. The effects won't work without the NVIDIA card and the GPU at a certain level. So I'm not that bothered about it. But yeah. Can you imagine scripting this, Tony? Do you think this is scripted? I think I'd have to sack the script writer if it was. Oh dear. I'm not a technophile. Well, I know. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Okay. Right. Harvest. Come on. First person. Right. What you've harvested. And I'm going to have, because my throat is drying up, as you can probably hear, my first beer of the weekend. Cheers, beers. There we go. Oh, sounds good then, Tony. I might give that a go. Chilies. Thank you, Ali. Chilies. That is a whole goblet of beer. That's a whole can. At least it's not wine. Chilies. Right, Ali. We have got a few chilies, but we don't know what they are. Let's see if I can get that. I've got a feeling that, is that in focus? Let's see if that's in focus. That's okay, isn't it? I've got a feeling that is a habanado. Siggy peppers, chilies as well. Okay. I think that is a habanado chili. Now, in our house, Mike is the one we test the chilies on. So he had a bite of one of the ends, said it wasn't too bad, got hotter towards the stem, which is what they normally do. But I think it was Steve House, Digwell, who recommended these, because I said everyone was talking about chilies. And for me, I was a real Philistine with chilies, like you are with tomatoes before you start growing them. A chili is a chili is a chili. And everyone's saying, it's been like the last couple of years, grow this chili, grow that chili. So I was told that it's the flavor that you need to look out for. It's not just the heat. So Steve said, grow something that's got the flavor without the heat, because I don't like my chilies too hot. And habanada, I think, means haba is heat, nada, none. So that should be okay. The flavor with no heat. Yes. Habanada. I don't know. That's what was written on my label, Ali, but anything could happen. I know there's a habanero as well, but yeah, we grew all the chilies, Claire. I don't know what that one is. I don't even know I think that's come from Mike's plot. I thought he was growing Scotch bonnets, but that is clearly not a Scotch bonnet. That is too big. But then it's not hot at all. Right, I'll give it a go then, Ali. Then we have got the padrons. Now, last time I showed a padron, I had Steve saying, you need to wait for it to go red. Well, I can wait for it to go red, but the ones I have bought, a pickled padron, pickled pepper, the ones I've bought from Aldi before have always been in a brine, and they've always been green. So I have done, oh, hold on, Ali, just a second. I have done that with my pickled peppers, which are, honestly, this thing, pickled peppers, which are in there. And I think it was a little bit of dill and some sliced garlic. So I've got a couple. It looks really cloudy, doesn't it? Doesn't look great, but I'm really, really looking forward to trying those. And honestly, Mike must have picked 80, 90, 100 of those today and brought them back and put them on the kitchen table. And he's got more to go. Just the harvest is coming in thick and fast. They might also not be padron. They might be something called Anaheim, because we were passed on some Anaheim pepper plants from Mike's neighbor, and they grow really big like that. But whichever, they are delicious. Just roasted. Absolutely delicious. So nice. Okay, Ali, you said about, what did you say? Plum chutney, Siggy. I'll come back to that. Dams and jam. Oh my goodness. I've been having dams and jam on toast for breakfast so many times this last few weeks. It's just delicious. It's just got that depth to it, hasn't it, Claire? Okay, let me show you what. Oh, here we go. There's a dams and jam for you. And the thing is, I was worried because I never get the setting right. Look at that. That's fairly set, isn't it? And I thought, oh no, you're going to have to slice out. It's going to be like toffee. But once you get your knife in, it's nice. Right, let's get that out of the way. Okay. This is a Mike make. And this is sweet and sour. I've got to get him to make nicer labels. Look at that. Sweet and sour plum sauce. And that is just, it is, oh, you can see it's quite runny. But that, in a Chinese dish, we had pork with it the other day. And Mike, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but that was just delicious. Sweet and sour plum sauce. Doesn't look like a padron. It might not be, Mel. It might be an Anaheim, but it's certainly good. And the other thing he's done, this is what's been great this year as well, because Mike has been doing things as well. He's been doing all the preserving as well, so I'm not just preserving on my own. Oh no, he hasn't brought up one of his chili sauces. What's that one? But he's been doing the chili sauce as well, and tomato and basil. So again, tomato and basil. We've got the tomato. This is Mike's label again. Look, he's not got it straight. Oh. Does anybody use the acrylic pens to write on the glass? Because I've been looking at the preserving and canning Facebook group, and several people use acrylic pens. Oh, cowboy candy, never tried it. Might give it a go. Yeah, it would be so much better than these stickers, because much as they're quite nice once they're on, there is so and so to try and get off. And the acrylic pens, apparently, you just write on your jar, they just wash off. So we've got those. We have got the pickled peppers. We've got the sauce. And then we've had and still have loads of apples. We've got, again, baskets full of apples. And I teach, when I teach, it's at the kitchen table. And so my students have had to get used to each week just the amount of room they got on the table being squashed a bit more as I go and move things out of the way. And at the moment, it's apples. It's just apples everywhere. So I'm big into dehydrated apples. They are just, I'm not going to eat one because it tastes quite chewy. They are delicious. They are so good. One dehydrator full makes 2 jars though, so they go down pretty quick. Oh, and I also put, you know, you get these things in bags or shoes or whatever, the little desiccant things. Even though I know they are bone dry, I always put one of them in the jar. So we have got apples. You know what, Pammy? I was wondering about Sharpie. I hadn't even thought of that. The acrylic ones look quite nice. So I think they're like 3D. Am I on about the right things? I'm sure I am. Sharpie's good at. We've got so many Sharpies around the house. The house is full of artists. We've got artist stuff everywhere. And then even Anna this year has gotten to her sauces. So Anna's been making Anna's appley sauce, which is delicious. That has got a little bit of cinnamon in. And again, that is just ready to go. So whether we're making a cake or, brilliant idea, I'll come on to that, Nancy, whether we're making a cake or a crumble or just having it with a meal, really, really delicious. So we're sort of making different size jars of these. So once a jar's open, like that's a big one, that'll go in the bottom of a crumble, because once that's open, if we just have a teaspoon of that once a week, seems a bit of a shame. So yeah, big jars, little jars, whatever we can. And then last one to show you, I promise, with apples is something I've made. And I think Kerry over at Dog of the Plot might have made something similar, because she said, this is quite runny again, look, if I tip that. This is called apple strooper. Now I've Googled it and I can't find it, but I have got an old book that I've shown before, Basic Jams, Jellies and Preserves by Marguerite Patton. And she's got this, it's a whole chapter on what to do with your apples. And apple strooper is basically your apple jelly. It's dead easy to make because you just strain the pips and the core and everything just gets drained out of it. Just chop off any dead bits and grotty bits. But you add honey. You add cinnamon, you add nutmeg. And I haven't tasted it yet, but again, that just seems really wintry. That seems really nice to have on toast, or I don't know if you'd have it with anything else. But yeah, so 3 ways with apples: apple sauce, dried apple, apple strooper, pickled peppers, sweet and sour plum sauce. We have got damson ketchup. That is on the way. Someone mentioned ketchup a little bit earlier, and loads of different sorts of jams and tomato things. But the big difference this year, and again, yes, yeah, AD, you have, Mike's been talking about doing curry sauce. I've never made chili jam. Siggy, you just reminded me there. We really should make chili jam, Mike. If you're watching, make a note of it. Chili jam. I'd love to. We tried some at a friend's house years ago, and I've always sworn on making it and never made it. Oh, hello, Joe. Hi, nice to see you. Joe, we're talking preserves. You see, I've gone off it. Oh, because Mike's doing it as well this year, he has really got into canning. I've always been confused with canning because I've always thought a canning involves cans. Okay, but apparently canning involves jars. Not even that jar. What's he canned? Let's see. So he's canned that. Okay. And you do it in the water that covers, and then you rolling boil for however many minutes you need to. And it seems to be quite good. We'll know if we've all got botulism in, a few months' time. We'll know it hasn't worked. But Mike's really been looking into that, because every year, and this goes back to what you were saying, Claire, every year I freeze any sauces I make and use the takeaway trays, the rectangular takeaway trays, stack them up, because they stack brilliantly in the freezer. And in fact, you can do it with red currants. I've got a whole load of red currants. It doesn't have to be a sauce. We've got broccoli in there. We've got just food bags with chopped up peppers and chopped up onions and that sort of thing. So we bought a new freezer probably about 5 years ago now, just for that, because the freezer we have in the kitchen is fridge freezer 50/50, and we knew if we were going to stock things over the winter, we were going to have to use an extra space. But with having the canning, bottling, jarring, whatever it is we're doing in jars now as well, it's doubled the amount that we can actually store. So really, really pleased. And it's yeah, it's just really, really handy to know. Sterilize all the, yeah, our labels don't fall off when we sterilize them though, Tony, because what I tend to do, I tend to put them in the dishwasher. Put them in the dishwasher as soon as they have been used up. Give them a rinse, put them in the dishwasher, and then I'll store them upside down. So I know that just before I use them, I rinse them out, tip the water out, so there's a tiny, tiny bit inside left, and that steams. If I put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, it might be a minute, and not for very long, it steams, so it gives that extra sterilized, up-to-date sterilization, and your jar is nice and warm, ready for you to put whatever you want to in it. And then I boil the lids. I always wash the lids, and then just before I'm making, or while I'm boiling the jam or whatever, I'll boil a little pan of lids as well. So let's have a look. Yeah, the silica gel packets. I don't know if you can buy them separately, but you can get them. They're just worth keeping, aren't they? Keeping hold of. Anyone has any low, no sugar jam recipes? Oh, that's interesting, Debs, because my dad is diabetic. And yes, he's always saying about, he loves the jam. At the moment, we're on the strawberry jam from earlier in the year. My goodness me. But it's not surprising. It's so tasty. When you look at the amount of sugar that goes in, it's crazy. Because it's like a pound for a pound. And with the apple strooper, where you make the apple jelly, you've got your muslin bag. We always hang it on a cupboard door. Can't use the cupboard for a few days while it's draining. And for every pint of juice that it makes, is it a kilogram of sugar or a pound of sugar? Well, if it's a kilogram of sugar, it is. No, it's a pound. It's a pint for a pound. And I showed my daughter Anna. We had the pan full of jelly before we added anything to it. And then I poured the sugar in and said, just try and stir that now. And she tried to stir, and you can't. It's just a solid mound of sugar. So when you think of how much sugar, yeah, Debs. There is one, again, I haven't got this book to hand, the Marguerite pattern, basic preserves, jams, jellies, and whatever. Worth looking on Amazon for, because I know they do low sugar jams in there as well. I just haven't looked at it. So it means I've got to make some for my dad. I'm too busy making some for the house. Free sauces in, yes, I've done soups like that as well, Debs. Freeze them in Ziploc packs. Make sure you freeze them flat, because sometimes I've put them in a bag and put them in a rack in the freezer, and you can imagine it all falls through the rack, and then yeah, don't do that. I was thinking about a vacuum sealer, and we actually saw one in a second-hand shop. You'll probably know it, Claire, Norton Bridge, huge charity shop, not too far away. But it was at the time of the year where you're not really thinking of preserving anything, and I thought that might come in handy. And I didn't get it. Wish I had now. But if you, yeah, it sounds good. Sounds good. It might be something there. Okay, so you use a pressure cooker, Tony. Yeah, we haven't got into the pressure cooker side yet. It's just like the big stock pot with, I think Mike uses he uses a tea towel on the bottom so the jars don't touch the base. But if he keeps it up, I think we're going to have to get the right stuff. Yeah. So Caroline, it's not always easy, is it? Just just knocking up a recipe the same as everyone else. There's some low no sugar pectins you can get. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's interesting, Nancy, because I'm wondering then if you're using a high pectin fruit. I wonder if fruit sugar, does that count as high or low? You would think, because it's natural and it's from the fruit, you would think it's fine. but would that count as an ordinary sugar for diabetes? I don't know. Stevia is very good. Has anyone ever grown the stevia plant? Is it called stevia? Yeah, it is. Oh my goodness. Honestly, as a herb, it's not perennial. It's an annual herb, and I've never been able to make it last the season. If you're at a herb nursery or a specialist, I'm trying to think if they've had them at Melbourne before. Look out for a stevia plant, because it's however many X amount times stronger than sugar. But if you eat the plant, eat the leaf. It's like eating a sweet. It's like eating almost like a spearmint sweet. It's so incredibly sweet. It's when I was first told about it, it's like if you had a spoonful of sugar, try that. And it's sweeter, if you can imagine. It's sweeter, but it's delicious. It's amazing. So, oh, okay, Claire, that's worth looking into. Okay. Yeah, worth using for jams if it's working for cakes. Erythritol. I've never heard of that, Claire. Don't know what that is. Sounds a bit, I don't know, erythritol. It's obviously some sort of sweetener, some sort of supplement. I suppose, Joe, it comes to the stage where once you have filled your freezer, I mean, we've still got stuff in the bottom of our freezer that we had last year, that we preserved last year. So, yeah, and that is something I learned the hard way, Pammy. If anyone else has had this before, let me know what your experience has been about it. But I remember the first year we had rhubarb when we got our first allotment. I was so thrilled with it. I washed it and I chopped it and I read all the things. They all said freeze it first on an open tray, so that it doesn't all stick together when you come to use it. And of course, I forgot about it. I thought it'd be okay. And I went a couple of days later and pulled out this tray full of beetroot, but it was ice. It just completely gone to ice. And I remember thinking, oh, it'll be okay. It'll be fine. But it hadn't. And it was quite a long time later where I was trying it and thinking, why does this taste weird? And it was because it got freezer burn. So yeah, if you put stuff in your freezer and you do open freeze, keep an eye on it, a few hours, I'd say at most, just for it to get a little bit solid. And then you can put it into a bag. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you use that for coffee, Claire, right? Okay. I hadn't even thought about using the greenhouse for a stevia plant. Oh, that is a looking for a pen. I'm picking up a pepper. Right, here we go. I've told Mike to make notes, but I think he's probably wandered off by now. He hasn't got a very high attention span. Stevia for greenhouse. House. There we go. Your dad's watching. Mind your P's and Q's. Hi, Paul. Hello, Dad. Are you watching? I've just been talking about you and your diabetic jam. But saying that actually, the good thing about my dad having diabetic jam is it comes in those Stute containers. I don't think I've got any up here, but they've got the really nice, thick lug lids. They've got the thick, twisty lids that pop. Because that is the other thing about canning and preserving. The price of jars is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I know that's put me off buying them before. But we have been, again, my mum and dad always pass on their old jars. We're reusing our jars as soon as we empty them. But I have bought a few of the Kilner ones, these ones, which are the ones that always look really pretty. They're always really nice. And they are supposed to be very, very good for water bathing or canning. I wish we just had one word for it. And yeah, some of them, the seal's not so good once they're under pressure, underwater. And I have heard that these ones that we only get them when they are on offer. And you can get them on offer at Sports Direct, which threw us for six, because as far as we were concerned, Sports Direct is a sports company that you went to if you wanted trainers, which I never do, but that was that. But they sell Kilner jars, and every now and then they'll do packets of 6 for £6, so £1 a jar. And if you know anything about Kilner jars, that is ridiculously cheap. They're £3 upwards for the little ones. So if you are interested in investing in a few Kilner jars, get yourself onto the Sports Direct website. There is an offer on at the moment. I think it might be something like £6 delivery, but if you get a bulk amount, I got 18. So if you get 30 and pay £6 delivery, it sort of, it all evens out a bit, but they are really good. Yeah, you could do the same, Pammy. You could do the same with your bags. Dehydrating. Yeah, getting back onto dehydrating. Apple slices, beautiful. I tried tomatoes one year, but I made a mistake because I used cherry tomatoes because I thought they'd be really quick to do. But of course, they've got a really high water content. They took forever. They took days to dehydrate, even though they're only tiny. But my goodness, the flavour was good. I've never thought of dehydrating beetroot, though. Apart from for crisps. Oh, no, you've put rhubarb. Ah, so you said rhubarb, Joe. Okay. That was the thing with the apples. I was thinking about dehydrating some with cinnamon on and maybe a dusting of sugar as well. Would sugar work? Would it have to be, I'm talking about doing things less sweet. Would it have to be, could you use icing sugar? I'm thinking that might work a little bit better than just ordinary sugar. I don't know. I've never dehydrated anything with ordinary sugar on. But it's interesting. Ah, a kilo makes about 2 tablespoons. Yes. Oh, you powder it. Oh, okay. That's something I haven't brought up. I dried my chilies a couple of years ago. Chilies will keep forever dried. Had them all in a jar. We've got so many chilies coming in this year. I said, I'm going to have to do something with these. So I've used this old coffee grinder. Note to Mike here, it's your old coffee grinder. Don't use it again. And ground the chilies up. And now we've got the chili flakes. And yeah, they made maybe a couple of tablespoons, Joe. But wow, they are incredible. Just half a teaspoon in a dish. That's enough for me. Blows your socks off. So dehydrating is definitely something else I want to keep up. And one of the Sports Direct sold out now, Pammy. I know there were a few weeks ago, and this came up probably the middle of this week, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if they sold out again quickly because it is a real bargain, even though quite a lot of people do say that the seals they're not always great. But I think if you send them back, they're pretty good, you know. But it's worth keeping an eye out. Keep an eye on the website. They shrink a lot. Powder them. I had my hand up. What was I saying? Apples. That's the other thing. I learned the hard way, and I have mentioned this before as well, not to preserve everything in the same way because of the year. And it was before we had an allotment, I think, or maybe we had our first lot of fruit, and I jammed everything. It wasn't just that I jammed everything. I spent the autumn patrolling back lanes with my daughters, who I don't think were really that bothered about it, but I was being the very autumnal mum saying, come children, let's go and gather berries. And we went and gathered all sorts of berries and we made so much jam. And I put them all in a cupboard in our utility room. And one evening there was this almighty crash and all the jars were just on the floor, broken, jam everywhere. You can imagine. I don't know if the rabbits were in the back. Anyway, so for me, it wasn't just the physical thing of the jams disappearing and all that hard work. It was all my memories and what was in my heart of this beautiful autumnal walks with my daughters. Anyway, I'm sure, Anna, I'm sure you don't remember it like that at all. But yeah, so I thought, right, next time I am not putting all my eggs in one basket, so to speak. I'm going to try and do stuff, which is why I started putting stuff in the freezer as well, which is why I will dry my beans. So that's another thing I haven't brought up with me. I've got jars of beans. So we've got the drying beans. We've got dehydrating all sorts of things. We've got freezing. We've got bottling, canning, water bathing, whatever you call it. We have got jamming. We have got, what else have we got? When I say jamming, I am including jelly. We have got chutneys, ing. What else have I missed? I think I've pretty much covered there. So if your freezer does go off and you haven't got an emergency backup generator, Okay, you might lose everything in your freezer, but you've still got all your bottles on your shelves. You know, if your shelves fall on the floor again, you've still got all the other things in the kitchen. Do you know what I mean? So you're covered. You don't lose everything all at once. So, but lid jars, right, Mike? I mean, we've been saying this as well. Quite a lot of people will say, I think this is one. Go to places like B&M and you get it's a lug lid. I've only just learned what a lug lid jar is. Okay, so that's your flat and ring lid, which come in two parts. And also, I've only just learned that you can take that off. I'm not going to do it on camera because it's Anna's, but you can take this off, and that bit it should be secure, shouldn't it? Yeah, so you can take that off. Sorry, Anna, if this goes wrong, we're an apple pie tomorrow. That is now preserved. Yeah, that stays on, so you can use that again. Okay, but it's these that you've got to look out for if they go rusty or anything. But these, go to B&M, get a bottle of Dolmio, use it, and then, you know, again, sterilize this. That is a pop lid. It's a lug lid. You know, you've got a jar for 79p or 99 or whatever your local B&M sells it as. You've used the contents anyway, even if you don't like Dolmio. It's worth it just to tip it out. Not that I would never tip the contents of a jar out and not use them. But for that price, have a good look. Have a good look, you know, because I think sometimes you do get ripped off. People think, oh, it's harvesting season. And like Hobbycraft, let's put the prices up a little bit and just see if people come and buy them. But yeah, you know, you can reuse things over and over again. Oh, you're lucky, Debs, if you got everyone saving yours for you. Yeah, yeah. Replacement lug lids. Pickles, Anne. Yes, we've got pickles. Well done, you've reminded me. We've got, again, I've only got a little tray next to me here, and we're all the way upstairs, but we've got big jars of pickled beetroot. I am not keen on pickled beetroot, but Mike is. So, and I suppose my pickled peppers. I suppose I have got a pickled thing here as well. But yes, that's the other way of doing it, isn't it? There's so many different ways. It's lovely. The Toot Right 80. The Sports Direct ones, that's those ones, 80. Yeah, I don't know if that is 355ml. Does it say on the side? It says US fluid ounces, and then it's got a label on the side. Hold on, it says mil. Oh, look at that. There we go. I don't know if you can see that. It just says mil. Let's see if I can get it to say anything else. Just mil. Ah, okay. Can you see it on the side there? Sorry, again, it's the 300. Yeah, so that's 300 mil. So that must be the 355. Does that make sense? So it's a good weighty jar. It's actually a bit big for jams and things, but it is good. Yeah, you're if you know, zombie apocalypse, Claire, we'll all be up to your house. You're fine. My dried apples won't be able to last that long. Yeah, we do ask people to collect their jars, Pammy. And also, again, we've had quite a lot of success with Facebook Marketplace. With, you know, people, I'm just amazed how generous people can be. It's, you know, people will wash their jars and make sure that they're really scrubbed clean and they've got the labels off and everything, just to hand them over to you in a mushroom box. It's a complete stranger, you know. They're not just giving you their empty jars, they've given a rinse. They really, you know, they really look after them. It's so nice. You've got them as well, Siggy. Gardens of Sweden. Happily a nice lady from Gardens of Sweden. Mike, I think that's a typo. It's Hammy. It's Gardens of Whedon. I'm saying garden, isn't it? Happily a nice lady from Market Drayton's given me loads, yeah, but not enough. Whedon, not Sweden. Yeah, I bet you could. We've actually got our neighbour at the allotment, Mike's neighbour at the allotment lives opposite. Happened to say to Mike a few weeks ago, oh, have you got jars? I've got loads. And of course, Mike hasn't got his phone number. It's one of those things, oh, I'll see you up at the allotment. And, you know, we never do, so. You put up a post. Oh, right. Oh, I don't know what spot it is, Pammy. Is that a typo or is that? Is that one of these free websites? I suppose it is. We've got, again, we used to have the lady vicar in the town where we live. Always used to, this time of year, she'd always put them up for collection. But I think, to be honest, the way we're getting through things at the moment, we'll get through them. Let me just show you, though, the kindness of strangers. Mike should be up here to tell you this story. Being on the allotment, well, a while ago, Mike gave a plant to a couple of seedlings to one of our allotment neighbours, and he grew them on. And I think this is the right way around. Mike, I've probably got it the wrong way around, but it's something like this. He grew the plants on, they were squash plants, and he gave Mike a squash, and Mike's neighbour, other neighbour, Giles, a squash. And Giles was really thrilled with his squash. And so Giles said to Mike, "Oh, this is lovely." He said, "Well, I'm going to pass it on. Do you want to see my beetroot?" And so Mike, of course, he wanted to see the beetroot. Giles said, "You've never seen one like this before. So I'm going to show you now." Now, people say, okay, sorry, I haven't frozen here. Try to Wares of Knutsford. 355 or £18.92. Charlie's did them for £12.99. Okay, but for how many? How many AD? They're £6 for £6 when you look out for them. I imagine that's for 6 or 12. But yes, he said, he said, "I've got 2 beetroot. You can have one if you like one. So do not adjust your set." This is Giles's beetroot. Now, there could be a whole ecosystem living in that hole. We don't know. We haven't opened it up yet. But that is some beetroot. That is, sorry, there's Dear's head there. Not quite as, I am putting it next to my head. I'm not cheating. I'm not doing this. Not quite as big as my head, but it's getting there, isn't it? You could give that a name. We could give it a name. Look, it's got a little mohawk there. And yeah, it could even have a little suit. £12.99 for 6. Oh, Siggy, look out for Sports Direct. Just look out for the sales. It's big. Now, what do you do with the beetroot that large, Anna? This is a question we are going to be asking you, because you're going to be handed the beetroot tomorrow to do something adventurous with. Claire, if it was you, you could make a birdhouse out of it, couldn't you? Like one of your gourds. But I'll be really interested to know if it's woody or not, because obviously when beetroots do get big, they get woody. According to our neighbour, he's already tried one and he says it isn't. He said it's absolutely fine, but time will tell. I'll get back to you, but crazy. That reminds me of, actually, when I was a kid, we didn't used to have pumpkins at Halloween. We used to have swede, and blimmin' heck, trying to carve into a swede, that was hard work. That's why people didn't go in for Halloween as much as they do nowadays. They just couldn't be bothered Halloween sweets. It took too long. I think a beetroot would be a bit easier, but maybe we could do that with it. Oh dear, yes. So a chutney would be nice. I said I hate, no, hate's a strong word. I don't like pickled beetroot very well, but I do really enjoy just fresh boiled beetroot. I suppose we could just boil it and put it in a bag and put it in the freezer, couldn't we? Pammy, would you do that with yours? It's Wilson. It is Wilson from Castaway. It is. Didn't Wilson have a little, didn't he put eyes on him or something? I get him mixed up. And the one from the Mighty Boosh, the coconut from the Mighty Boosh, who was based on Wilson from Castaway. Hello, Anna. Nice to see you. Yes, that's the other thing to say. Anna, let me just show you the beetroot. I've just shown everyone else. It just joined. We're talking about this here crazy beetroot. Yeah, it's his first year growing. Honestly, he took on the allotment next to Mike at about the same time, a couple of weeks after Mike. It is beautiful, and everything he's grown has just been incredible this year. I think they've got better soil on their side of the lane than we have on ours, than I have on mine. Oh, roasted with black pudding. Now, it's a bit controversial, isn't it? But I've tried black pudding for the first time a couple of years ago because I've never liked the thought of it. And if you've ever watched the Pottery Throwdown, I don't know if it's still there, but when it was first recorded, it was recorded at a place called Middleport Pottery in Stoke-on-Trent, which is just up the road. Beautiful place, go and visit. They've got burley stuff everywhere. Oh, it's gorgeous. The history is fantastic. They've got a cafe there. And one of the Stoke-on-Trent famous dishes is oatcakes. We have them every now and then. It's like a large savoury pancake, and they get filled. Well, you can fill it with whatever you like. You can have a whole English breakfast wrapped up in an oatcake. But the classic for me is cheese and mushroom, maybe a little bit of bacon, maybe cheese and onion, maybe bacon, mushroom, and tomato. Again, you can just fill with whatever you like. And I suppose in a way, it's a little bit like a taco. It's just like a savoury pancake. So it's that sort of texture. Anyway, so they had black pudding. They had mushroom, black pudding, and bacon. And I thought, oh, my friend said to me, go on, try some. I said, oh, no, I like it. I tried some, really gingerly tried it. My goodness, it was heaven. It was absolutely beautiful. So just seeing you saying that, Pammy, back with the pea shoots as well. I might try doing pea shoots over the winter. So I've got loads of pea seeds. I mean, I could grow them in the greenhouse, but I could grow them in the kitchen as well, couldn't I? No room in the kitchen at the minute. It's all pumpkins and apples, all sorts of things. But yeah, the pea shoots would just give that freshness. Or, I suppose, with bacon, similar sort of savoury, isn't it? Nice. I like that idea. Lovely ideas. Yeah, Siggy, that's what I'm saying. I bet it was hard work making them into lanterns. Honestly, I bet so many people lost the tips of their fingers trying to carve into a Swede because they're hard. They're not meant to be carved. You know, cheese and chives. That is a beat on steroids. Maybe I need to ask him. He says he's organic. I don't know. When he's producing beetroot, I think he might have something to tell us. But excuse me, my cough. Please keep talking. I'm going to have to cut. Talk. The only thing for that is a swig of beer. Here we go. Maybe that's right, Claire. Maybe you're right. It could be that homegrown ones are easier because they haven't been stored as long. I suppose anything that you grow yourself is just that much fresher. And yeah, it could be. Hydration is key. Don't we know it? Keep everything plumped up for as long as you can. But yes, so that's it. We have talked about, have I got anything else to catch you up on? So if you've seen the videos, you'll know how pleased I am with the greenhouse. We did have a slight leak the other day, which is a bit worrying, but if we have, it's from the roof. And I'm sure Mike won't mind getting up on the roof in weather like this. I think it's sorted now, actually. Just put a little bit of silicone along it. But that's the big thing for next year for me. As well, getting used to growing properly in the greenhouse as opposed to just having the greenhouse as that workstation where I grow seeds. So Baileys and Jameson, they would. I think just the Jameson's on its own, Pammy, would be quite nice. But yeah, so let me just know in the comments here. Come on, let's give my voice a bit of a break because I've been talking non-stop and not letting you get a word in edgeways. Let me know about something that you're going to do differently next year. I know it's only October, but or even what if you're thinking about this year that you're thinking, I want to try something different, or that didn't work, or that just something. Just let me know in the comments below. I'm going to be quiet for a minute and just read your comments. Have a good read at what you're all putting up. Claire's got something. Oh, that's nice. One more. Oh. there's too many now. Perfect. Claire, if you can get one big greenhouse, the difference it's made for me, even though I haven't grown in it yet, is just the height. You'll know that I was talking about, and Ada, you'll know this, I was talking about trying to do some of the old greenhouse, and Ada, you suggested that we raised it slightly to get the height, but it's almost like the one big, even if foot space, what you call it, square footage, might not cover as much space as your two individual ones, it feels bigger because instead of having two going up and down like that, does that make sense? You've got the one going up. So even if it took up the same footprint, you haven't got the going down again. Honestly, so worth it. I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. A curry garden. Love that idea, Pammy. Mike did his tomato sauce garden this year. So his peppers, his chilies, his tomatoes, and that's what he's reaping the rewards from this year. Oh, and basil. He's grown so much basil. That's what we've got in the freezer. We've frozen, or I'm saying Mike has frozen bagfuls of pesto. Homemade pesto. There is a video on the channel of Mike actually making pesto. I think it's called Easy Pesto or Hey Pesto, in the shed. It's so fresh. Even after it's been frozen, it's been fresh. Yeah. It is just a lovely place to sit as well, Claire. Absolutely lovely. Curry garden. Pammy, let me know what you're putting in it, apart from the obvious curry plants. I'm saying that. Would you be growing the curry plant, the herb? Tony, I'm with you. Irrigation. I imagine I really do want to concentrate on irrigation next year, but we can't possibly have another year as hot and dry as this year. Can we? I don't think we can. But this year has really made us just stand up and realize, or me in particular, because Mike's not been there to the same extent. He's been doing an awful lot of it, but yeah, I've got to get that sorted. Mint, lime mint. I would love some lime mint, Adi. I think we need to get together at our garden centre sorted soon. Let's have a Halloween spooky get together and we'll do some swapping. That would be lovely. Oh, Joe, you've got a pomegranate arriving. Oh, okay. So Claire, have you got a pomegranate? Because you were looking at different things. Different sorts of fruit. Well, I bet you've got one. Because that's a lovely idea. Would that be inside? Surely it would have to be grown inside, Joe. You can't get outdoor pomegranates in this country, can you? Let me know. Okay. All the herbs, etc., needed to make a curry. Oh, what a great idea. I've gone down too quick. And the veggies that go with it. Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm trying to think what you'd have in a curry. What herbs would you have in a curry? Apart from, obviously, I'm saying the curry plant. I have got an actual bush in my backyard called Californian allspice. It was off a friend many years ago, and I've never done anything with it, but apparently it is allspice. You can use the pods. So I wonder if I can take. That's what I love about these comments. This is what I love when you comment as well, because I'm getting ideas now. I'm thinking, I wonder if I can take cuttings off that. That'd be great. Okay. Oh, you have got a pomegranate. Okay. Oh, yeah, Mike, we have got some fairly fantastic cabbages. Mike's always been the brassica man, but this year I have had my first ever successful cauliflower. I've been gardening for years. I was so thrilled. Fresh. Again, the difference between fresh cauliflower and bought cauliflower, it was creamy. It was just, don't tell me that means it's off. It was, the texture to die for. Absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, I've got a couple of nice cabbages to pull, and Mike has just got loads. He's got loads. We will have to film it. I can't reach the windows in my new one. Definitely need to get auto vents. Oh, okay, Debs. This is it. We've got auto vents. I know, we've been so lucky. We've got auto vents in this one, but they seem to work at different times. It might just be that one's facing the sun more and one isn't, but one goes up and comes down and the other one's only halfway up. So we might have to look at them, but yeah, it's going to be nice. But I just opened the doors as well. Kimchi, Mike. Yes. Yeah, we will have to do kimchi. Mike has made sauerkraut before and some kimchi, and it's an acquired taste, isn't it? I hated it to begin with. We used to get it from a local shop. Lovely big jars comes with it, though. I used to like the jar rather than the contents. But yeah, you're right, Mike. We need to make some. I think I could get into it. It's meant to be so good for you. Let's have a look. Sorry, I'm just looking at trying to catch up. You'll have a shelf in the middle soon. A shelf in the middle. Where will my shelf be, Adi? I've actually got a shelf in the middle of the greenhouse. I've got the staging, which was meant to have this shelving above it. But because on the side where there's not an allotment on the other side, it's just a big empty garden. But then we've got a house. I've put the shelving on that side just so it shield the house from us and shield us from the house a little bit. So I haven't put the shelving that goes above the staging. I've put it opposite. Does that make sense? It probably doesn't. Oh, a Peruvian guava. Oh, Joe, you and Claire have got to get together. A Peruvian guava. Claire, have you got one of them? Poor. I was looking at Claire and I went to the Gardeners World show and had a great time looking around. There was that one stand, Claire, do you remember? And it had all unusual plants. And there was like the strawberry bush, which had the weirdest looking thing. There was a very strange plant. I don't know if Kerry from Dog on the Plot might have grown it. It wasn't called purple banana. It was a very unfortunate looking plant. All these plants. Now I sent to Claire, well, are you growing that one? Yeah. Are you growing that one? Yeah. So we're trying to find something unusual for Claire to grow. So pawpaw is great. Fenugreek, that's the one I was thinking of, Adi. I didn't know you could grow cumin here. I love cumin. Oh, it's on my list. Right, okay, let's write it down. Cumin. Again, I'll let you in on something in a minute. And fenugreek. I've never grown either of those. Okay, maybe they need greenhouse. Coriander. Yes, grown coriander. That grows really well. Fennel. Okay, this deer is getting fed up. Can you see? There she is. Turmeric. Tried turmeric this year. I did a video on growing all unusual things. Tried turmeric this year and it just rotted. Didn't do anything, but again, that was my fault, so Provence. Right, okay. Oh, that's the name of it. Okay. How do you stop? Definitely want to grow more next year. Sorry, Romanesco. What an absolute beauty. I have only ever grown. Are we talking about the Romanesco broccoli or cauliflower, which is like, I always think it's like an alien planet with like the little pea. Oh, can you hear that? That's deer, which is barking. And that's because Mike's at the door. Oh, he's handed me a something. Okay, thank you very much, Mike.
You're welcome. Thank you, dear.
Okay, thanks, dear, for protecting me from that man who you know very, very well. And isn't it all scary? There we go, job done. I lost it again. What on earth was I talking about? The finger thing. Blue sausage. It was the blue sausage. That was horrendous. Fennel, I've grown. Yes, the turmeric. I want to try and grow again. Right, okay. Sorry, let me catch up. The auto vents. I don't know how you stop them auto vents. I don't know how you stop them opening or closing. I don't know what you do with them, Claire. They are completely new to me. I'm just hoping they do their thing. However, I have looked, and to get replacements, it's about £20, £25 for a replacement. I thought it would be a whole lot more. Again, I'm only just looking into it because I was thinking maybe we will need to replace them. But I think, I think that might be worth doing. Okay. How do you right? Plot neighbor grew amazing acorns. This is the same plot neighbor. Mustard Provence, and we got a whopper given back, way bigger than ours. Yes. I find a lot of people, though, when they do take an allotment on, they will spend an absolute fortune on compost, as in bagged compost from garden centres. And so the beds are absolutely bathed in this wonderful stuff. But I often wonder how well that will behave in the second year, because the bagged compost, it has got enough nutrients in really for 6 months to a year. So hopefully, with the addition of adding your well-rotted manure, or even your council compost or topsoil or whatever it is, to give that compost a little bit of depth, that's what will keep it going. That's what I'm saying. That's because Mike's grown a lot better than me, because he put a whole load of compost on even though it's only council compost. Yeah, the curds. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, I am looking at them. You don't need to lock it, Claire. You don't need to lock it. It just closes. It's magic. So again, I'm with you though, because I don't know at what temperature it will close, but I'm because they're temperature driven. Tony will know this. AD will know this. They're hydraulic vents, and they are temperature driven. So I'm assuming as the temperature goes down. Does this help? I don't think it does. Right. Okay. So yeah, I've got ginger in as well. Did you get that when I got mine, Claire? I put mine in the greenhouse with the chilies. I've got to admit, I haven't checked up on it, but that grew okay actually. Persimmon. In winter, you can screw the black handle off. I need to take a closer look at my auto vents. I'm like, I just go in there and go, oh, it's just lovely. Look at the view. Look at the view. I'm not doing anything practical in there at the moment. Persimmon. You've got to have the soil in that. Yeah, exactly, Tony. Compost is brilliant and it's a great boost. But I think a lot of people think that, great, get the compost, that'll keep me going. But it wears down. The nutrients get used. So yeah. Topsoil with it, Claire. That's brilliant. And you've got so much, haven't you? You are on gold there, Claire, because the amount of gardeners who really have to go searching for their own topsoil and well-rotted manure. Let's see. I meant to lock it, stop it opening. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I'll have to have a look. Yeah. Okay. 15 or 16 degrees Celsius. Okay. Honestly, Joe, you and Claire would love it. You've got mistletoe in your apple tree. Oh, Pammy, that is special. That is really special. We've got the A road just going out of our town. There's a whole load of trees grow together in a clump, and I love it because in the winter they're just stark. There's that brilliant silhouette of just like this clump of trees, and there's always crows sitting on the top, and and it's just wonderful. But there are just patches in the winter that are mistletoe, and I just think it's wonderful. I love all that. It costs a fortune if you want to buy some. Free alpaca poo. Oh, I bet you've got posh vegetables. Imagine if you were packaging those, you'd be able to say artisanal alpaca. But I wonder then if it's gone crazy then. And we've been talking about so many things being due to the weather. I wonder if that's right, Pammy. But the things Mike was just passing in before. Apples have gone mad this year. Fruit all over the place in our garden. We've never had such a good year for fruit. It's been incredible, apart from blueberries, my ongoing thing with blueberries. But apples. Okay, this is a small apple, but it's off one of our trees, but quite a nice, standard size apple. We've given it a bit of a, you do that, a bit of a shine, but that's quite small for one of ours. So I'm not sure what sort that is, but we've got loads, hundreds of those. But then Mike had an apple tree in his fruit / duck cage behind his shed in his new allotment, but it was all growing outside the top of the cage. So I went along with my lovely Pronabo shears and got a little bit carried away. I went, come on, do or die. It's no good growing through there. It was pushing the cage up. Let's get those branches off underneath, and you can manage it as a bush, if you like, or if it dies, it dies. And so what's happened this year, it has put out some apples. Whereas that is our apple. I mean, literally, that is next to each other there. These are the apples that Mike, again, put it next to my head for comparison. These are the apples that Mike has got on his. Again, trying to get them exactly. See? Incredible. And they taste really good as well. So I'm really hoping it isn't this tree's last hurrah. Sort of, you're trying to chop me down, but I will survive. I will put a few more apples out and then it dies. But it's just so good. We're absolutely thrilled with it. Don't know what sort it is. If you've got any idea what sort that apple might be, I really don't know. But yeah, that's the Minnie Wilson. Let's have a look, AD. Yeah, I thought that was the actual name of an apple then. Yeah. It's like Gulliver's Travels. That was not Lilliput. That was where everything was little, but where everything's big. The other one, I can never remember the name of that one. It is lovely. Yes, on steroids again. Apples have just been brilliant this year. I mean, but it's not a worrying thing, but you can take things for granted, can't you? The apples our apples weren't so good this year, so we were expecting a few. We thought, it's feast or famine, alternate years. But this year, never had so many. I mean, in fact, it's hazardous walking up the path up to the chickens because that great big faraway tree has lost so many. And I've been out there with my apple picker picking as many as I can at any one time. But that tree is just 20 foot high. There's no way I can get up there and get all of them. So they get left for the birds or they just drop. But it has been a great year. Yeah. So, okay. Right then, folks, it's actually 8:30. It is 8:30. You see, I keep going to finish, and then somebody put something really interesting up. Scions from them. It is called a scion. It is a scion. That's a good idea, isn't it? Again, Joe, that is something that I've never done. So it's like taking cuttings, isn't it? But you have to have, here's your branch. You have to have a little bit of the tree stuck to it as well. And then you tape that to another twig. Something like that. I don't know. I'll look into that though, because that could be good. That could be good. I know someone who used to do it a lot, but I can't remember exactly how I did it. So you graft it. That's the word, isn't it? You get a scion and you graft it onto something that's got the rootstock of the tree that you want. I think that could be it. Okay. So you can get rootstocks. Slice it into the rootstock. Well, that's what I'm thinking, Claire. If you take the bottom of the stalk off, if you like. So you've got that slice there. So you'd have, but that would be raw. That would be a raw slice of this material. And then you've got your rootstock with a raw slice corresponding. And then you bind it. Is that what you do? I think that might be what you do. Claire, we could come and have a lovely little go on your apple trees and see. Because I think you need more fruit trees. It is a case of looking. I mean, it is lovely to grow them, but I think that's the thing with fruit and veg. You feel guilty if you don't store them, as well. So lovely to see you, Tony. Okay, thank you. Okay, yes. Oh, the lambs. Oh, but come on now. Come on, you've got to forgive the lambs. Bless them. Okay, right. Okay, yes, I must go. It is 8:30. My voice is just about held out. I am unsure as to whether I will be doing a video this weekend because not just the rain, but again, I think really after an hour and a half of talking, I don't think there's very much left. So Give me a like if you're there. Give me a hit the like button. I hope you've enjoyed this. It's been a bit of an all over the show, as it always is, but I'm hoping that we can carry on with our monthly catch ups on the first Friday of every month, just to see what everyone's up to and share what we're excited about. So hopefully I will see you again, if not in my next video, the next first Friday in October. Goodness me, I haven't had that much. I think, should I just have that and shut up? I think I will see you on the first Friday in November. Oh my goodness. Oh, we've shown Dira, Anna. We've shown Dira. Is she going to say goodbye? Yeah, it's goodbye from me and it's goodbye from Dira. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming along. Have a lovely weekend. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.